Cristiano Ronaldo walked into Portugal's World Cup opener chasing history. One more tournament, one more chance, one more night for the number 7 to remind the world why he became one of football's greatest icons. But in Houston, the story did not turn into a Ronaldo fairy tale. It became a nightmare. Portugal were held to a shocking 1-1 draw by DR Congo, a team playing in their first World Cup since 1974, when they were still known as Zaire. And while Lionel Messi had just rolled back the years with a stunning hat-trick for Argentina, Ronaldo's own opening game told a very different story. This was supposed to be Portugal's comfortable start. Instead, it became the night DR Congo made history, and Ronaldo looked like a shadow of the player the world once feared. The atmosphere before kickoff was emotional, loud, and full of expectation. Every time Ronaldo appeared, the crowd reacted with cheers and the familiar Sue. Fans had come to see an icon. They had come to witness another chapter in a legendary World Cup career. But before the game truly began, Portugal also shared a deeply emotional moment. At the end of the national anthem, an image of Diogo Jota appeared on the big screen. Television cameras then showed his parents in the crowd, still mourning both Diogo and his brother Andre Silva after last July's car crash. Then, the whistle blew, and for Portugal, the start looked perfect. Inside just 6 minutes, Pedro Neto was given too much time to cross from the left. Joao Neves attacked the delivery, rose above Axel Tuanzebe, and headed Portugal into the lead. 1-0. A fast start, a clean header, a goal that seemed to show the gap between the two teams. Portugal had stars from Europe's biggest clubs. Neves was part of Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League winning side. Bruno Fernandes, Nuno Mendes, João Cancelo, Vitinha, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, the names were huge. DR Congo, by contrast, were the underdogs. But they did not play like a team just happy to be there. Even after falling behind early, Sébastien Desabra's side stayed calm. Their fans may have been heavily outnumbered, and because of the Ebola outbreak, supporters could not travel from Central Africa, but the Congolese diaspora inside the stadium made themselves heard. And slowly, DR Congo grew into the game. Yoane Wissa fired wide. Cedric Bakambu wriggled free and forced Portugal to defend. The warning signs were there. Portugal still had chances to take control. Nuno Mendes charged forward and forced goalkeeper Lionel Mpassi to rush off his line. Bruno Fernandes sent a cross shot wide, but something was missing. Ronaldo was there, but not truly involved. For long stretches, Portugal's captain looked isolated. The half chances came and went, the movement was limited, the old danger was not there. And then, right before halftime, DR Congo delivered the moment their country had waited decades to see. In stoppage time, DR Congo won a corner. It was played short to Arthur Masuaku. He had only made 10 club appearances last season, including 6 on loan at Lens. But in this moment, he produced a delivery of the highest quality. The cross curled in. Yoane Wissa attacked it, and the Newcastle striker powered his header into the net. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. History. DR Congo had scored their first ever World Cup goal. Wissa charged toward the bench and led a wild dance of joy. For the underdogs, it was more than an equalizer. It was a statement. They were not here to be spectators. They were here to fight. Meanwhile, Portugal looked stunned. Diogo Costa and Ronaldo exchanged words. The early control had disappeared, and suddenly the game felt very different. At halftime, many expected Ronaldo to be replaced. Instead, Roberto Martinez took off Bernardo Silva and sent on Francisco Conceição. Ronaldo stayed. And DR Congo came out for the second half, believing they could do even more. Bakambu started the half with real energy. Portugal needed urgency, but the match became an even contest. Ronaldo did show one brief flash, setting up Mendes before Tuanzebe intercepted the cross. Joao Cancelo then put the ball in the net with an acrobatic overhead kick, but the flag was up for offside. At the other end, Bakambu hit the post, although the move was pulled back for a foul on Fernandes. Portugal grew frustrated. There was pushing and shoving near the touchline, the tension was rising. Then came the moment Ronaldo had been waiting for. Conceição pulled the ball back from the right. The chance was not perfect, but it was the kind of moment Ronaldo has buried countless times in his career. This time, he dragged the finish wide. A few minutes later, Conceição created again. Again, Ronaldo got the shot away under pressure. Again, it missed the target. The stadium waited for the old Ronaldo. Portugal waited for the old Ronaldo, but he never arrived. Roberto Martinez made more changes. Rafael Leao came on for Neto. Goncalo Ramos was introduced late, but not for Ronaldo. He replaced Vitinha instead. Portugal pushed, but not with enough conviction. Bruno Fernandes shot narrowly wide. Tomás Araujo had to stop Wissa with a cynical block as DR Congo threatened on the break. By the final whistle, one thing was clear. A Portugal winner would have flattered them. Portugal came into this match expecting 3 points. They left with only one. DR Congo came in as outsiders. They left with history. Yoane Wissa's header gave his nation its first World Cup goal and its first ever point on this stage. For Sébastien Desabre's side, this was not luck. They earned it with courage, energy, and belief. But for Portugal, the questions are now impossible to ignore. Can they still build their attack around a 1-year-old Ronaldo? Can Roberto Martinez keep leaving him on the pitch when the game is slipping away? And after Messi opened his tournament with a vintage performance, did Ronaldo's night show that the two legends are no longer walking the same path? For years, Cristiano Ronaldo was the man Portugal trusted when the pressure was highest. But in Houston, when the chances came, he could not take them. Portugal 1. DR Congo 1. A historic night for Africa's underdogs. A painful warning for Portugal, and perhaps the clearest sign yet that even the greatest legends cannot escape time forever.